show is brought to you by the Black Business School, the #1 black wealth institution on earth. To learn how to invest in the stock market for free, please visit firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com. And that link is at the top line of the description box. You got my personal recommendation on that, firstshareofstock.com.
Right, let's go down that road a little bit because we went to the conference, the All Black Conference, and we sat on a panel called the Weaponization of Hip Hop.
Yep.
And now we talked to a lot of people, and the categories that I kind of came up with in hip hop that you got like the slut rap, you got the drug promotion, you got the backpack rappers that say, a lot of conscious things, and then you got the gangsterism, the killing. So my question to you would be, is this what we become as Black people, sluts, drug dealers, drug addicts, and where is, the balance in music? Because the last time we talked about, the different females that we talked about, but there's also males that are perpetuating this, and it's getting to the point now where rappers are dying, women are real promiscuous out there, and it looks like to everybody else, this is what Black people have become now. So is hip hop weaponized? And where do we go from here with hip hop? Like, where is the positive stuff? When is the positive stuff want to be pushed as opposed to the negative?
Wow, that's a good. First of all, you know what? I was supposed to be doing that panel. You know that, right? I was supposed to be on that panel, probably with you guys.
That'd been crazy.
But I couldn't make it to Miami. So shout out to Boyce Watkins.
Right. Absolutely. Shout out to
Boyce Watkins. Sprinkling his network every now and then on the Fly Nubian Queen Network.
Yeah.
I put content on there. I love what he stands for, that he stay in his lane of just straight up, I'm representing Black. This is a Black problem and we need to deal with it.
Right.
Which is interesting because a lot of times people don't want you to handle, they make it a racial thing like you prejudice, but it's like, no, I serve Black girls and we have some serious issues. We're seeing information, as you had stated earlier, that's not healthy for us continuously in all the spaces that we reside in. We already have intergenerational dysfunction going on within our own issues, our own family. We're already out of balance. We have a foundation that's very, very, I would say, is fading away, the foundations of what supports us, and that's family and respecting one another and sharing with one another and building one another. Instead, everyone's turning into stars and just don't want to support one another. And, that's why I literally work probably 20 hours a day because everybody want to be a star. It's hard to find people that get behind you and help you, put your stuff together. You know what I mean? And they really just want to be in front of the camera as a way of life and thinking that they're all going to make it that way. And the reality is everybody's not called to do it. So that's number one, so they're stepping out of their calling and missing out on the many great things. Me, myself, I have a PhD. I went to school. I have multiple credentials, that I sat on. I purposely stepped back to not be one of those that had to feel like I had to so into slutism or hoodism or, because we hood all day. That's easy for us. It's like, we need to find out how to make it in this life, not just sitting in somebody's hood. You know what I mean? We need to know how to create neighborhoods, how to make healthy neighborhoods, not just hoods. And that is what is being showcased in the music, hip hop. It's like, it's very offensive to me. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Black woman. My mother always told me as a younger Black woman, she said, one of the great things that she told me was, don't ever act a fool and let people think you are at the bottom. You know what I mean? That you're a bottom feeder, basically, by buffooning yourself and acting a fool on each other in front of everybody. You know what I mean? In front of everybody, meaning everybody that don't look like you, because this is a buffoonment, to the pride that you're supposed to have. And Black on Black crime is horrible. And we're just pushing that, in hip hop today. It's so glorified to where the people that got other messages, they're still hood, quote unquote, but it's more neighborhood, you know what I mean? To whereas it's a well-rounded, expression of hood, we get somewhat not as inclusive because people have fallen into this foolishness to self-destruct the hip-hop community, which hopefully it's going to last, because the way it's going now, it's just today people then brought the whole hood now to the stage. And
Right.
how could you get anything done that way? It's like you should have stayed in the hood and kept that going on out there, or in that fashion, instead of coming into hip hop to do it. So I have so many, it's heartbreaking for me to see at 50, you know what I mean? Whereas I could have ran that whole road too. I could have kept hood out, you know what I mean? What's one of my songs? It's some cold-heartedness, some cold-hearted niggas, that's disgusting. I could have, time and name ringing, major factor FedEx, and what was one of my hood songs? What is it called? Oh shoot, Wolf Tickets. Some silly chicks try to be the shit, coming with that sticky sing stupid ass shit. Soul Train's about to pay me though, so I can scat to Vallejo to the iggity oh. It's easy to be hood. That's a second nature to many of us that really came from that. You know what I mean? But to sit up and glorify it, especially the continual not growing in hip hop, is the only industry that showcases that we should be ignorant and stay behind and buffoon. And by all means, however we can get it, whether it's on the screen to kill people, whether it's showing off and showing somebody booty, whether it's sitting up in front of the camera all the time and not even really paying attention to where the real stuff is going on, losing track of, being distracted by, foolishness, and not really paying attention to how you can be influential, how you can activist, how you can help change and be a revolutionary and keep your people alive, you know what I mean? And focus on your family first, and being, all the things that will round you into having multiple streams of opportunities and of presentations of who you are as a Black person, as a Black woman, as a hip hop artist. I refuse for them to put me in a box like that. But see, I get it. People don't want to sacrifice. It's a sacrifice when you stand for something. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know about that. When you're not just in the goody boy gang, and you're not just to get along, to just come, and kiss everybody butt and be a part of just going along with something that you might not even believe in, but just because you don't worship idols and you don't worship, money like that, and you're just not willing to just do anything because you're conscious, because you woke, because you care about your people, because you a real big mama and a real big daddy, because all the kids should be our kids. So at the end of the day, that thought pattern obviously it doesn't exist, that mentality. And we have become the influencers of this game, so unfortunately, it's heartbreaking, and it's actually, it's really played out when everybody gets kudos for something that they didn't create on their own, that they just basically copycatted from the other generations, but they're getting the credit because it's being pushed, in the new generation's faces. And some of us, have other things to do besides just sitting in front of the camera all the time, because we know who we are, you know what I mean? Or feeling like we got to have a whole bunch of streams and a whole bunch of likes and comments and a whole bunch of YouTubers and things like that, and do all this extra stuff because we can make it without it. But they're going to make it where people going to put themselves out of business in this game, if we keep just letting the same thing go on from all angles, you know what I mean? And self-destruct. And it's sad that it's hip hop, and hip hop is African American or African, descend, foundation, and we are targeting, not saying that other people don't listen to hip hop, but they don't have the same problems as us. We already got enough problems in our neighborhoods. We got enough problems in our own family, dysfunction and all this crap that we got going on. We have enough problems with being behind in technology in various areas in different industries that people don't even want to sow into, or even go and become that revolutionary teachers and people that really, you never forget, that create history and create greats. Everybody want to be on TV.
You talked about hip hop and Black culture being intertwined. It's within the DNA. You can't have one without the other, and we all know that. And we also know, and one thing we talked about on the panel was conflict resolution. What can we do about this? We know it starts with the youth. Our generation, unfortunately, is listening to the negative music and the negative connotations in music, which is therefore being transferred down from generation to generation. How can we change it? Positive music isn't appealing. It's not as cool. It's not this and not that. And as you're talking, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, well, let me ask you this, because we know hip hop and life in the Black culture intertwined. Do we first have to fix life within the Black culture before we can fix hip hop? Because if it really is art imitating life, what is art really looking at? You understand what I'm saying? So how do we have to fix our core structure on how we are as people before hip hop can be fixed? And do we give a too much blame on hip hop, knowing that within our culture, there's a lot that has to be taken care of first?
Sure. Great point. Well, first of all, when it comes to, there's a lot of good music. To me, positive music are just music that to me is healthier music. My thing is just not glorifying sex, alcohol, violence, drugs, stripping, and bullying all the time and bragging on yourself. If anything outside of that, to me, no matter what it is, because I just know we're so much more than that. And to me, real talent don't got to do that, all the time. They can talk about all kind of stuff. So, but to be forced, I think if we can come to a balance and understand how to, oh my God, there's so many layers. First of all, we're dealing with layers. It works hand in hand though. You can't do one out the other. Now, I'm not saying that other industries don't influence, there's other industries, but I'm concerned about hip hop because I was in it and I've seen it change and I've seen the weapon, as you stated earlier. And I also see how it can be changed very easily because now it's just about muscle and money, you know what I mean? And pride and ego. And the sad part is they are at the top. We are leaders. We're at the top by default, whether we want to be or not. But many of them don't want to be. So I get that. A lot of them blame. Oh, I heard people in the comments, matter of fact, because I know somebody's going to come in these comments cutting up. So let me address that now. Nobody is saying that nobody shouldn't take care of their own kids. But as leaders and as people who care about one another, we didn't come on earth to just focus on foolishness. We came here to be revolutionaries and do a purpose. So you in the comments, when I'm speaking on this, I'm talking about, yes, we are responsible. I noticed that a lot of the younger people, they want to fight game. I want you to not fight me. I want you to listen because in about 10 years, you'll probably feel the same. Okay, that's to you. That's want to fight me for telling you the truth. They mad at Big Mama. That's the reason why I'm celebrating 50 to new 30, because they act like being older is a problem. Like we got game, boo-boo. That's the thing. I love who I am. I'm a bad chick, period. All day long, every day. I will run circles around some of the youngins. You understand what I'm saying? And some of the older ones, And at the end of the day, I'm smart. Mind, body, spirit, and soul. I'm wise and I love my people. Okay. And I'm not in this for just me. I'm in this to revolutionize, change and be a big sister like we are called here to do. We're supposed to be here, of course, to empower others as well. And when we have these areas of leadership, not just through music, to answer the question, I think the solution is everybody take their leadership role and be open to grow. Be open to understand that there's a lot more. Don't just stop and just say this is it, because we're dealing with different people in different generations that came in at different times with different types of teachings, with different types of leadership from their immediate space, and of course different types of content that's in their face every second, not just from hip hop, but just from everywhere. So the best thing I could do to where we could start is meeting everybody where they're at, because each, as I'm a coach, I'm a life of transformation expert, a wellness and enterprise coach. That is a part of one of my giftings, and I'm going to be doing a class soon, another one, in really bringing people to a different space, where we can spend more time, because I do it all the time, and as an owner of a school, first of all, when we are talking like we talking, there is we have to bring solutions. We can't just say what the problem is, because that leaves people, empty and low. And so I have done many things to help. I write books, you know what I mean? I have a book called Boss Up. I got a book called Your Perfume, A Woman's Guide to Help Her Reinvent Her Image and Discover a New Scent of Success. Started it when I was in a domestic violence relationship. you know. And when I did not want to continue to do music the same way because I wanted to figure out something else to do besides talking about the same thing, sex, money, alcohol, drugs, violence, stripping, and just pushing that because I know I'm so much more. And I don't want to just give people that. I don't want to be known on earth just for that. But the bottom line is I got Boss Up. It's an entrepreneurship empowerment book. And then I got Heiress I Am. How do you keep from getting your crown tilted or taken off? An heiress don't get decrowned. You know what I mean? I'm an heiress. You feel me? So whether I'm on TV or off TV, I'm not getting decrowned because my experience runs much deeper than just money and fame.